I believe that the success of your marriage depends on how much you know about marriage, not how you feel about marriage. It's what you know that will give you success. What you know will give you insight. What you understand will give you direction, and you know where you're going.
Mhm.
So, like I said, a lot of people actually get married. You know, they're gonna build their whole life with somebody. They're gonna build a whole society, a whole family, a whole house with somebody, but they do not understand what they got themselves into. Right? They just went into it based on their own feelings, what they think, the fantasy they have about marriage. That's not a good foundation. That's an unstable foundation.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into marriage due to how you feel. Because I was reading last time, and this is actually a fact. What I'm going to tell you right now, that a lot of people actually go into marriages
The wrong reason.
for the wrong reason, right? They actually go into marriage for, let's say, they're trying to get back at their parents because, they didn't like, their family. They didn't like the quality of their family life when they were growing up, or they didn't like the way their dad was acting. So for that, let me prove them wrong. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna prove them that I can actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
You go ahead and get married. That's a bad foundation.
Or like even, you marry you marry your significant other because your parents don't approve of it.
Right.
That's also a bad motivation
Bad motivation
as well.
Bad motivation. So let's talk about the wrong motivation that actually can destroy your marriage. Those foundations along the line, yeah. Right? So we have people, they're trying to get back at their parent. Some get married because they want to escape, their unhappy family. I'm about to get married because I can't stand my family, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dysfunctional. Want to get out of here. I want to get married. No, that's a bad foundation. You need knowledge. You need real knowledge of marriage, because marriage belongs to God.
Mm-hmm.
God put it here on earth for human being, for a man and a woman. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's a godly thing. So you need real foundation. You need knowledge before you go into marriage. Others get married because they themselves have a negative self-image about themselves. So when they look at themselves, they don't really like how they look. They don't really like who they are. They don't really like who they became, who they turned out to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that negative self-image that was probably produced by your society, by your culture and all that, you need someone to basically elevate your self-image. Mm-hmm. Because you actually, you have a negative self-image about yourself. So you go ahead and get married with a partner that will basically elevate your self-image. Wrong reason to get married. Wrong foundation. Don't do that.
Because that's what you're standing on.
Sorry?
Because that's what you're standing on, right?
Right.
Like you're saying wrong foundation.
Exactly.
So that you're standing on how he makes you feel because you don't love yourself. That relationship is standing on that. The fact that he makes you feel worthy or important, or he builds up your self-esteem.
Right. Yeah. So we're just talking about the negative foundation right now, that people actually get married for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then down the line, it ended up being a disaster.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we said they're trying to escape their family, mm-hmm. their parents, or they're trying to get back at their parents. We said negative self-image. Mm-hmm. They don't like how they look. Mm-hmm. They get married for that because they don't like the way they look. They don't like who they turn out to be. They don't. Mm-hmm. So you go and get married. Others, they just get married because they were married before, or they were in a relationship before, and then they had a bad breakup or bad divorce. Mm-hmm. They go ahead and get married as rebound, so they get another one quick,
right, without even healing from the previous one. Or
you got it.
Yep.
You go get married for for that reason, you have a bad foundation already.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. I'm just saying this so you can actually recognize, like, do you see yourself, you know, on that level? That did you get married for those reasons? Just trying to examine yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. Examine your foundation.
Exactly.
Right.
That's well said. Examine your foundation.
Mm-hmm. Others
get married because they don't want to feel left out. Like you seeing that all of your friends are getting all married, all of your, people that you grew up with, they all got married. I'm the only one. No.
To the next person whoever comes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a bad foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have that foundation and expect a long life.
Yeah.
Relationship, right?
Because
I'll save you though. I'll give you the good foundation that you can change your mind. You can download those foundations, and it will ignite the real marriage in you that God actually instituted.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I was saying, you get married because you don't want to feel left out. So the first opportunity you see, you jump into it,
and then you settle.
You know what I mean? That's not what God wants from you.
That's red flags.
You know what I'm saying?
You will
red flag.
You'll ignore the red flags because you're like, you know what? I can find somebody can be with me right now, and I'm gonna be like everybody else. I'm not gonna feel left out of the gatherings or the mommy play dates and whatnot. I'm not gonna be left out. So he's interested. Let me just go with it. No, you're gonna end up settling for things that you wouldn't settle for normally.
Right. Don't do that. Some want to get married because, they're afraid to be independent. They fear being independent. Like, I'm afraid to be by myself, to be responsible, to take care of things by myself. So let me go get married quick, so I won't have to be independent.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad reason. You don't want to have that foundation. You go get married because you're scared, you're afraid to be independent. No, you gotta be independent. It's two independent people who comes together.
Right.
It makes good marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have that foundation. Be independent.
Right.
And we'll talk about that after. Another bad foundation is people actually get married because I'm in a relationship with this guy, but I don't wanna hurt him. Right? But like, I have no feelings towards this person. But
I mean, you have feelings, but you don't feel like you can go further.
Exactly.
Like, you like the person, but you don't see a future.
Right.
But then at the same time, you're
now you feel bad. Mm-hmm. You feel bad. You like, you know what? I just have to, let's just do it.
Mm-hmm. Or like just say yes because you're trying to, like, a people pleaser. People who like to please, they don't please themselves, but they like to please others. They find themselves in situations like that where like somebody's proposing and you're like, oh my God, I can't say no. I have to say yes, or else like I'll hurt his feelings.
You don't want to have that foundation. We'll give you good foundation. I'm telling you right now, one of them is the truth, the knowledge, the real information about marriage. We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
So we talked about how we don't want to, we just getting married because I don't want to hurt the person's feeling. It's a really bad foundation.
And you know what's weird is like, because like when you hear that, you think like, okay, well, duh, those are bad reasons to get married, of course. But you'll be surprised how many people make that mistake.
And then that's their foundation. When I say foundation, that means that's their mindset. I don't want to be alone, or I want to get back with my parents, so I'm just going to pull up with this guy. That's your foundation. That's how you go with it. You're mad every single day. But hey, guess what? I got to keep that promise. I told my parents that I can do it on my own.
Right.
You have the bad foundation. You're not happy. You're not going to have that happiness that the Lord talks about. Some actually get married because they already had sex. So you tell yourself, okay, well, I've already slept with this guy. You know what? Let's just get married because I already slept. That's a bad foundation. You were going to say something?
Yeah. And it's also another way of seeing it as well. It's like you think you're in love, but really it's lust. That's also because like you didn't really form that connection, that relationship. You went straight into lust and you think, oh my God, I'm in love, because us females, we're emotional beings. So we get attached easily, and you end up falling in love based on lust. So again, you either you get married and you don't realize it's because of the sex, or you get married because you've already had sex. So, you know, like you already
So
felt
in the
that.
marriage, you don't even, you disconnected already, right? Because you're just there because you had sex in the first place.
Right.
So there's
Bad
nothing
foundation.
else. You're just together. You have a bad foundation.
Right.
Right. Others get married just because they're already pregnant. It's too late now. I'm already pregnant. You have a bad foundation. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Or the man feels like he has to step up and you know, get married, because it's like, okay, well, some men, they feel pressure as well, right, when they see that, you know, they're having a baby. So, you know what, let me do the right thing, and let's marry the mother. It's not a bad thing, it's not a bad decision, it's just that let it not be that based on that foundation. Work on building a better foundation than being pregnancy and having a child.
That's it.